All right, so today we're going to unpack the AI video revolution, and we're doing it through a case study of a new tool that's making some pretty big promises. We're going to use its own marketing as our roadmap to figure out what it claims it can do and, why any of this actually matters.
Okay, look at this number. 8.25 seconds. What is that? Well, that's reportedly the average human attention span these days. That tiny window? That's the entire battlefield for every piece of content online. It's the critical moment every creator, every marketer, is desperately trying to win.
In that battlefield, it leads us right into what we're calling the modern video problem. We're about to dive into why, in a world where you only have seconds to grab someone, the speed of creation isn't just a nice to have, it's literally about survival. And just to get a sense of the scale here, check this out. The source material we're looking at projects that by 2025, video will account for a staggering 82.5% of all internet traffic. I mean, just let that sink in. Video isn't just part of the internet anymore. For all intents and purposes, it is the internet.
So here's the fundamental problem. On one hand, you've got this bottomless appetite for instant, scroll-stopping video. But on the other hand, the traditional way of making that video is just too slow, too expensive, and takes way too many people. The math just doesn't add up anymore.
So, how do you fix a problem like that? How do you bridge that gap? Well, that brings us to the tool at the heart of our case study today, something called ClipsField AI, which claims it has the answer.
And here's the core promise, right from their own materials. It's a platform that says it can take the simplest thing, an idea, a keyword, even just a single photo, and spin it into a full-blown cinematic video. The key idea here is powerful. You get the professional quality, but without the ridiculously complex process.
And here's a peek under the hood at the features they're advertising. You've got your standard text-to-video and image-to-video engines, but then you see stuff like a Hollywood-grade visual FX engine, and even this thing they call an AI director mode, which supposedly makes all the creative calls, camera moves, pacing, the works. It's basically a whole production studio in a box.
But okay, that all sounds great on paper. How does it actually work for a real user? That brings us to their workflow. The whole pitch is built around a super simple, predictable process to get you from point A to a finished video without pulling your hair out. And they break it down into just 4 steps. Step 1, you upload a photo. It can be anything. Step 2, the AI comes back with a bunch of different video style ideas. Step 3, you get to play director, tweaking things with some simple controls. And finally, step 4, you hit downlight. The whole thing is designed for speed and simplicity.
Now this slide, this is where their whole value proposition just snaps into focus. Look at the language. On the left, you see words like hours, juggled, wasted, and burn cash. On the right, seconds, automated, auto-formatted, and minutes. This isn't subtle. It's a crystal clear message. They're replacing a long, painful, expensive process with something instant and easy.
So, who is a tool like this actually for? To figure that out, let's take a look at the testimonials they feature, because it gives us a really good idea of their target audience and the impact they claim to have. Okay, first up, we've got an example from the e-commerce world. The founder of a fashion brand says she turned a basic product photo into a video ad, and she specifically calls out that it replaced expensive photo shoots and freelancers. That speaks directly to that promise of saving serious money.
Now, compare that to this one. This is from an indie game developer who doesn't have a Hollywood budget. He used the tool to create a cinematic trailer from his concept art. This is huge because it shows the tool isn't just for ads. It's also being pitched as a creative partner for storytellers.
So when you pull back and look at all the examples, you see this really broad user base. Authors, musicians, marketers, you name it. But there's a common thread, a goal that connects every single one of them. They all want to replace freelance costs and massively speed up how quickly they can make stuff. This is about changing the entire economic equation of being a creator. Of course, a tool like this doesn't just appear out of nowhere. We have to zoom out and look at the massive economic wave it's riding. The source material calls this the AI video economy.
And these projections, they're just wild. The generative AI market is forecast to jump from around $38 billion in 2025 to over $1 trillion by 2034. $1 trillion. Numbers like that explain why so much money and talent is pouring into the space right now.
And look, this isn't some far-off futuristic thing. It is happening right now.
The source material points to some stats about AI's current impact. For instance, they claim 75% of marketers are already using it. They're seeing production costs drop by about 60%, and they're getting up to 500% higher conversion rates with personalized videos. This shift is already well underway.
And this shift is leading to some truly fascinating new developments, like what they call the AI influencer economy. We are literally talking about completely synthetic personalities, characters made by AI that don't exist in the real world, who are building massive online followings and signing real brand partnership deals worth thousands of dollars a month. It's a whole new kind of creator economy being born. And all of this brings us to our final question for today. The case for this technology is powerful. It's about efficiency, speed, and making creation accessible to everyone. But as more and more of the creative process becomes automated, it leaves us with a really big question to chew on. What happens to the value, and maybe even the definition, of human creativity?